First part of 200K maintenance is removing the primary charger from the machine, and we're going to replace the corona wires inside the charger itself, along with inspecting other parts of the shell, the grid, high voltage connections, and other various parts of the charger. Before doing this though, I'm going to use some safety glasses, and I would recommend that to you as well. So always safety first. The first thing I'm going to do is take a flat blade screwdriver, rotate this charger around, and remove these two nylon screws from the rear and the other screw. And we're going to take the rear cover off, set it in front of you. I'm going to place the screws inside here so I don't lose them. Next, we're going to change the bit to a hex head. And we're going to loosen a middle screw contact here, ever so slightly. Now we're going to tip and turn the primary charger upside down in front of you. And we're going to be removing 4 screws here, 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 and here. Place the screws in a tray. Next, we're going to lift gently the inside shell and place it in front of you. This contains the 3 corona wires. I'm going to just move this part of the primary charger out of the way for now and turn this the opposite direction, as I'm right-handed. Now in here, a couple things I want to point out. This side here is a spring-loaded part of the charger, where the left side is just a stationary cradle for the primary charger wires, corona wires. What I'm going to do to remove these is ever so slightly depress this side here, spring-loaded side, grab hold of the lug and slowly lift up, and it's hard to see, and place the wire in front of you or discard it any way you like. I'm going to do that with the next one. Lifting up, and a third one. Next, I'm going to remove this small foam piece, and it has 3 slits in here for the wire to go in. We're going to be replacing that. I'm also going to discard that. Look for any kind of contamination or debris in here. You can clean it with some alcohol. Also, while you have the part of the shell out, inspect the high voltage connection like we talked about in daily maintenance inspection. Checking for any cracks or breaks here, or this locating pin here. Okay. And then I'm going to get some new wires to replace. So inside the box of charger wires, you have 32 wires. Just want to show you, when you open this box, you'll have a cardboard layer. You'll have a foam layer. Underneath this foam layer is a set of 16 wires, and below that is another set of 16 wires. So don't throw this away once you use up these first layer of wires. There's still another layer underneath. And it comes with all the foam pieces you need. In NexPress it talks about wearing cotton gloves when putting the charger wires on. But if you handle the wire and lug assembly by just the lugs and not touching the wire, you really don't need to wear these gloves. They're very cumbersome and you could potentially break the wire. So if you do inadvertently touch the corona wire with your fingertips, you can clean it off with a little alcohol and then go over it with some distilled water. By touching it, you're creating a hot spot, so you want to be sure to clean that off. I'm going to take the wire and lug assembly and gently pick it up by the lugs. And on this side, where there's a spring-loaded mechanism on the primary charger, I'm going to gently drop it inside this area. Along with this new foam piece, there is a tiny slit in there. The wire needs to go in between. And then gently press this spring-loaded mechanism to give me some extra wire on the other side, where it has to be inside a crevice on the shell. While depressing this side, gently drop it in the cradle and slowly release the spring-loaded mechanism as to not break the wire and lug assembly. And then move on to the next one. Next, I'm going to install the next wire and lug assembly into the middle portion of the charger in this spring-loaded side, inside the foam piece again, and gently depress this mechanism. And on the other side, make sure the wire is in the crevice in the shell. Gently drop it inside the cradle and slowly, with my right hand, I'm releasing this mechanism again, putting some tension on the wire. And I'll do it again with the third lug. Again, gently putting it in the spring-loaded mechanism, in the slit in the foam, depressing the spring-loaded side, putting it in the crevice in the shell, dropping it in the cradle, slowly releasing it. And now the corona wires are completely assembled. To do an inspection of the grid portion of the primary charger, we're going to look at it on an angle like so. And as you can see, there's 3 different grids per charger. And we'll look at it, and if one needs to be replaced, what we're going to do is rotate it around, and I'm going to show you the handle portion. There's a few screws here. Remove those, take this handle off, and it would reveal what you're going to see on this side. A couple of screws, depending on which grid needs to be replaced. Remove the screw, remove the clip that's holding the grid on both ends, replacing the grid, and then repositioning the screw and the clip. They are in an orientation, as you can see, and they're numbered 40, 50, and 70 in that order. When you put these on, you want to make sure that the grids touch each other and there's no gap. That's very important for a uniform charge. So we're going to reinstall this part of the primary charger into the outer shell. Just set it in place. And what I want to note here is when it makes contact, this portion of it, these forks go behind the washer and screw. This is for the high voltage connection here. It's extremely important that washer is behind the screw and over these prongs. And then you take the Allen and you tighten the screw up. Don't over tighten. Just snug. And then we'll put the 4 screws back in and secure the bottom portion. Is installing the cover, the plastic screws. You can start them with your fingers, a little bit easier. And then use the flat blade to tighten.